Hey everybody, welcome to the AllBrands show. I'm Barbara from AllBrands.com and we have a treat for you today. We have the amazing Famore Scissor Company with us today. We sell tons of them on our website. Hey Brent, how are you?
Good, Barbara. How are you?
Amazing. I love you
Yeah,
and your
I love you.
scissors.
Every time I see you, you said it was raining in Louisiana, but it's always sunshiny when you're around,
Oh, you're so sweet.
even virtually.
Oh my gosh, you made my day. Thank you so much. So, oh my gosh, so we're going to do a scissor sale today. We have tons of products to show. Tell us a little bit more about those who have not been acquainted with Famore yet. What are you all about?
Well, thank you, Barbara, for this opportunity, and thank you, everybody that's a part of this All Brands show. My name is Brint Fanizza, also known as the Scissor Man, and I've been manufacturing for our industry for 25 years. I did have black hair when I started, but we manufacture a full line of product for the DIY arts, crafts, sewing, quilting, embroidery, and precision instruments is what we do. That's the name of our game.
Yes, and we're a retailer for your product. It's allbrands.com, a family-owned and operated business. So anything that you see today in the videos, there's a link in the description where you can purchase them on our website, allbrands.com. So we'll be back in just a short moment, and we're going to show you all of these awesome scissors. See you in a second. Yeah. Yay, and we're back. Oh my God. Your scissors are, I'm sure you have so many slogans. I was like, a cut above the rest. They're awesome, 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 amazing scissors. And we're going to show you why today with Brent from Famore. That rhymes.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Famore.
Famore. That's Famore. Okay. Well, what do we have first that we're going to show today? And I wanted to say to everybody, if you have questions since we're live, guess what? Ask them in the comments and I will ask them to Brent and he can answer them live. So, and also if you haven't yet, one more, comment hashtag AllBrands because we do a giveaway at the end of every show of a $25 allbrands.com e-gift card. So be sure to get that in there. And all right, well, Brent, what do we have first?
Well, what I want to do is I want everybody to understand there is no such thing as an ambidextrous scissor.
Yes.
A scissor is either made right-handed or a scissor is made left-handed. There's no such thing as an ambidextrous scissor. And this is brought up quite a bit in the industry. And I just want to kind of set the record straight for those of you that are left-handed out there that really don't know the difference, what makes a left-handed scissor to a right-handed scissor. Barbara, how do I know that my scissors are right-handed or left-handed? A lot of people think it has to do with the handle, which that's just a very minor part of the process of the difference. When you open up your scissors at home, and if the right blade or if the inside blade comes up, then it's a right-handed scissor. No matter how I turn that right blade is the one that comes up. On a left-handed pair of scissors, the outside blade or the left blade comes up. And that's how you can determine if you have a right-handed or a left-handed scissor. Now, why is that important? Scissor manufacturers got kind of slick, and they started either welding or molding left-handed handles on right-handed scissors and calling them left-handed. But it's still a right-handed scissor. And for those of you out there that are left-handed, that have accustomed to using a right-handed scissor, you have to put that tension on the handles to get them to cut. And at the end of the day, your thumbs are killing you because of that tension. Well, folks, we have taken that away. And I am proud to say that Famore has the largest left-hand selection of any scissor manufacturer in the world.
Woo, that's amazing.
It is. And everything we have left-handed, guess what, Barbara?
You also have right-handed.
That's right. We also have them right-handed.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Anne and Roxanne, because before you said it, they guessed it. The blade angle, it's the way the blade is set. So good job, y'all.
Yes, yes, yes. Love it. They must be left-handed. Anyway, so yeah, and we are doing some unique things to our left-handed series to make them differentiated from a right-handed series. Before, this is what it would look like. Here we have the left-handed version. Here we have the right-handed version. But if they're sitting on the wall, or if somebody takes it out of a package and puts it in the wrong package, I don't know. So what we're doing is we're color coding our left-handed scissors to have this beautiful blue liquid shimmer handle, so you can identify what's left-handed and what's not.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I wish I was left-handed just so I could have a blue one.
We've got other colors coming for the right-handed.
Okay.
But it is a beautiful color. They don't chip. It doesn't peel. Doesn't scratch really easy. It's a nice permanent finish. So why is it important, if you're left-handed, to have the right tool? In sewing, Barbara, there's always that 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch seam allowance, right? In quilting, those allowances sometimes don't exist, right? Yeah. So as a sewist, quilter, or anybody, if you're right-handed, when you do your measuring, you measure from left to right. Left-handed people, true left-handed people, measure from right to left.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, that so as a right-handed person, when I go to make my cuts, I cut on the right side of that mark to get that precise cut. So I'm marking on the right side. My scissor, my right blade's up. There's no shadow casting on my fabric. And when I close the scissor, I cut straight down on that cutting line. If I was left-handed using a right-handed scissor, now I have to hold my arm over this way to be able to cut on that line, and it's not that easy. And if you are left-handed using a right-handed scissor, that can happen, where it folds the fabric, not cuts the fabric. Being left-handed using a left-handed scissor, now I'm cutting on the correct side, or the left side of that cutting line. I'm looking straight down on it, and it cuts it like a hot knife through butter.
I had no clue, but Pamela does. She says, as a lefty, thank you for explaining that to everyone. I have used left-handed scissors forever and will never go back to sore thumbs.
And, you know, the left-handed people is only 10% of our audience, Barbara, but they've been left out for too long. And that's why we have really focused on this left-handed series and have a complete, comprehensive product category for embroidery, and we'll go into all of the different styles that we've got. But yes, thank you for that. You know, we have some left-handed people that have been using right-handed scissors. They order our scissor, left-handed scissor. They get excited. They get it home, and they're like, "But it doesn't cut," you know. And so, I get them on the phone or on a video, and I always like to talk to them when they're in their sewing studio, and I'll say, "Pick up one of your left-handed scissors." Well, it's a right-handed scissor with a left-handed handle. And so when I explain to them that they don't have to put that tension on their handles to make them cut, they just have to open the blades and close them, and it cuts easily, they're shocked. And we're so excited to be able to educate our left-handed people and to provide our products, quality products. So what left-handed scissors do we have? Well, we're pretty excited. So we're going to start from the biggest to the smallest, and we've got them for all categories right now. So the 8-inch bent trimmer comes in a true left-handed scissor. Lifetime free sharpening on all of Famore products. If you're a sewing machine dealer, Barbara, if you don't sharpen those scissors for them, your customers can always send them back to Famore. We sharpen them, send them back to them, better than new. So that's always one of the things here at Famore, and that includes our rotary blades that we'll get into here in a minute.
Oh, I love it. We do offer in any of our, I think, I know that we do it in our Baton Rouge store, so just call and let us know. But I wanted to remind everyone, anything that you see in this video that speaks to you, go ahead and click the description, the shop product in the description of this video, and you can see everything that we're talking about today. So this is the 728 8-inch razor edge that you just mentioned, right?
Yep, the 728L. Now, all of the left-handed series, so if it's a 728, that's the right-handed. The 728L is the left-handed.
Oh, wonderful. That's a standard scissor. Everyone needs to have it.
Yeah.
And I agree with Paula, who says everyone needs the right supplies.
Or the correct supplies.
Yes, yes. Oh, or the left supplies or the right supply. I don't know. But yes, this is the standard scissor if you are doing sewing, cutting fabric. This is
Barbara, there's two in the manufacturing world, especially in the scissor line. There's two lines of scissors products. There's those products that are needed, and those products are here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. They're never going to go anywhere. Then there's the products that are wanted, and those are more of the trendier products. And we take a look at, is this going to be a sustainable production? Because there's a lot that goes into producing these. Each one of our scissors goes through a minimum 64 processes by hand. I mean, it's a labor of love.
That's
making
wonderful.
making precision is not the easiest task. But, so we have the 8-inch. We also have a 6-inch version, which is great for any of those junior sewists out there. If you're teaching a youngster how to sew and you want something that they can have complete control with, it's made with the same integrity as all the other shears. It is very, very sharp. We call this a little razor blade with handles, but it's one of those scissors that can be passed down from generation to generation. And when that little junior sewist grows up and gravitates to the big guy, the 8-inch, they can hand this down to their kid whenever they're ready to teach them how to sew. And
it cuts like butter through that fabric, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to see it.
So yeah, I mean it single layers, 2 layers, 4 layers.
So what is it about a scissor that makes it cut so well?
There's a lot of things that involve that. Number one is the steel quality. Number one, all of Famore's products, most of them are made with a 420 J2 German stainless steel. The The other thing that is really important is the way they're ground. Grinding is a very important part of the scissor making process. Sometimes you will see lesser quality scissors where the inside blade grinding, you'll see the ridges. That's not good. Also, all of our scissors are made with a hollow grind. So the inside of the blade has a bit of a hollowness to it. Now, whenever you get a scissor and it's closed, you should be able to look through the blade, right? There'll be a gap inside the blade. So there should be a gap down here. You'll see the screw and a small gap all the way to the tip, and it should meet right there at the tip. So whenever you go to close the scissor, only a small pivot is what's actually doing the cut work. And when we're setting the scissors, when we're putting the set, then that's what we call the set into the scissor, you have to achieve. But it's really that hollow grinding, the angle of the cutting edge. Most of our, like the 8-inch shears are cut at a 35-degree angle to a 25-degree angle with the smaller ones. And if it's a knife edge, some of you may have heard of the knife edge grind. And that's basically where the blades have two different angles. The top blade has a more steeper cut, and the bottom blade has more of an even cut. And for those of you that care, the top blade of a scissor is called the cutting blade. The bottom blade is called the anvil blade. Now, an anvil is something you just put something on and it holds it, right? So that's what that blade does, is it holds the fabric, and then the top blade is what shears it. So, you can have different angles. The steeper the angle, the easier the cut. But the problem with that, the steeper the angle, the thinner that steel is, the easier it is to nick that blade. So if you were to hit a pin with it, and if it's a real thin edge, you can nick it very easily. Or if you drop your shear, they can nick easily. So 35 degrees is a really good razor cut. And just to show you what I mean by razor edge, for those of you that like to rip your fabric.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
They cut like a hot knife through butter.
Anne says that she loves her 6-inch shears by her sewing machine.
Okay, yeah, we have a lot of students that'll buy the 6-inch for whenever they do retreats or they go to in-store events, things like that. It fits in a sewing basket quite easily.
Oh yeah.
So they'll use these for traveling.
Yeah.
But,
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between a shear and a scissor? Because I see that word using interchangeably so much.
So the difference is the size.
Okay.
Any scissor that's above 6 inches is called a shear. Anything 6 inches and below is called a scissor.
Ah, that's good to know. Thank you. Margie says, damn, I'm getting those. Margie, put the link in the description of the video where you can shop all these products that we're showing today. Yeah.
So the very first scissor that we did in, the very first scissor that we did in left-handed, when I started with my focus groups, and I always like to work with the consumers, because the consumers are the ones that we need to listen to, right? It's all about the consumer's experience. What you and I were talking about before the show started was making sure that the consumer's expectations, minimum level of expectations, are met. And if those aren't met, they're not going to talk about Famore. They're not going to talk about AllBrands, right? But if we give them what they want and we make them happy with it, they're going to talk about us all day long. And it's just making sure that the consumers are satisfied. Now, the very first scissor we did in left-handed was our 6-inch duckbill applique scissor. Now, what makes a left-handed duckbill applique scissor different from a right-handed applique scissor? Yeah, those blades are mirrored, but it's that duckbill. The duckbill is on the correct side. It's on the left side of the of the scissor, not the right side. Some people say, well, can't you just turn it over? No, it doesn't work that way. So we also have the 712L. That's the 6-inch duckbill applique scissor. And these are cut as well at a 35-degree angle. They're incredibly sharp. Any scissor that doesn't cut to a tip is just a piece of steel. But
yeah. So they call these applique scissors because that little duckbill at the bottom like rests along the edge of the bottom material, correct?
Yeah, and funny enough, this scissor here is one of the most asked, how do you use it, right? Mm-hmm. So I always thought that the duckbill went under the bottom. And Bonnie Browning from the American Quilter Society called me up one day and she said, you're doing that wrong.
Oh, you're right. I knew that. Oh my gosh. You're right.
So how do you use your duckbill applique scissor? And this is going to be something good because even professionals, now I'm not left-handed, but I'm going to do this left-handed. So what you want to do, and I've got batting in here, but what you want to do is you want to make your cut, right? And so you want to get that bottom blade up against that seam line. Can you see that?
I think
so. The duckbill stays on top and the pointy blade stays at the bottom, and you just follow that seam line. And I'll just show you now, being right-handed, and I could have probably done that better, but you don't cut into the seam line. So you protect the integrity of your seam, but cutting away the additional fabric that you're not wanting.
Okay, so the duckbill actually holds the scissor away from the stitch.
Correct.
Amazing.
Now, with that said, some of the duckbill applique scissors that are out there, the duckbill is as much as 2 inches wide in some brands. And everybody said, make your duckbill smaller. So we did. We made it 1.5 inches. And then when we did that, they were like, we want it smaller.
Oh.
So we came out with the 712D. And this is the 712DL because it's left-handed. But so this is a 4.5-inch duckbill applique scissor. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, I'm not sure. Am I?
Sure. Kimberbell projects, Floriani projects, yes. in the hoop applique projects. They want to make them as pretty as they want, and they want to clean them up as nicely. So we came out with the 712 mini duckbill. And this little guy is an incredible little asset to your sewing for very detailed trim work. If you can see it, so it's got a very, it's only got a 1/2 inch duckbill on it. It's got really, really fine, thin blades and a very, very sharp tip. So you can really get into those really tight corners. Very exciting scissor.
That is so cute. I just want to have it just because it's cute. But I see definitely getting into those tight little crevices with the applique. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. And people always say, well, which one should I get? Right? Which one should I buy? Because we have the 712, we have the 712D, we have the 712MD, we have the 712A. And I always tell people, for your big trimming, use the bigger scissor, right? If you're using these to trim your stabilizers away from your embroidery, or you're in the hoop and you're doing a large, get the big one to do the big job. Get the small one to do the fine detail work. And people say, well, the 6-inch or the 4.5-inch doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you want, whatever's more comfortable for you. Some people like the 6-inch. Some people like the 4.5-inch. They're the exact same blade. They're the same sharpness. The only difference is the duckbill is a little bit smaller on the 712D than the 712.
Oh my gosh. Brenda says, I have to have these 4.5-inch duckbill scissors. Yes. Thank you for explaining the differences in the size for us. So sometimes we don't always make that connection. So
Right. Whether you see them on the wall, and it's just like, well, which one do I get?
I know.
But the little mini duck, the little MD, is an incredible asset for those that are do a lot of in the hoop detail work.
Oh yeah.
So, anybody have any questions on the applique scissors?
Does the size of someone asked, does the size of the holes make a difference in the scissors with the cut?
No. So
Like the finger holes, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I also don't have the smallest. And we do try to accommodate the larger hands with the smaller hands. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than seeing somebody trying to get their fingers into a little tiny scissor hole and trying to operate it. We just don't make scissors. We manufacture extensions of our artists' hands. And I make the analogy all the time that Leonardo da Vinci was an incredible artist, right? But if his brushes weren't good, a beautician, when she goes to cut your hair, she could be the best beautician in the world, but if her scissors aren't performing properly,
you're only as good as your tools sometimes.
That's it, right? And so when we go into manufacturing, that's the approach that we take. This is, we're just not making scissors, we're making extensions of our artists' hands, and making sure that they're comfortable is really important. And most of our rings are mid-sized rings, so they're not the largest, but they're not the smallest. So the majority of people can get it in and out of them without sticking.
Yeah. So I think the two that you've covered so far are must-have scissors for anyone who has a sewing room for sure, or is doing any kind of fashion design or anything. Those are two staples. So what do you have for us next?
Well, the next one I want to show you is our 732. Now, the 732 is a rubber handle that's got nice soft grips to them. And what's nice about this is if you've got any dexterity issues, or if you've got any arthritis or hand issues, the handles actually form to your hands. So they're very, very comfortable to use, and they're incredibly sharp. So this is like an all-purpose craft scissor. I'm going to get some wool here. So I primarily made this scissor because of the wool appliqueurs. Several years ago, one of our leading wool applique companies came to me and said, we really need a good scissor to do wool applique. This is wool, and it cuts it very nicely. This is 2 layers of wool, and it cuts it very nicely. So not just wool, but you can use this for an all-purpose crafting scissor. It's got a micro serrated blade on it. That micro serrated blade, if you cut something silky or slinky, it doesn't push the fabric, it'll hold the fabric, so you get a nice, clean, precise, sharp cut. And that brings me to another topic, is serrations. Serrations have been kind of a thing the past few years where people are wanting serrated scissors for their applique to get really precise straight cuts. Some of the people that do applique that are award-winning quilters, the competitive quilters that do teaching, some of them don't like the serrated scissors because they feel that it could give a little bit of a serrated edge on the fabric. We use a micro serration, and that micro serration will not leave that perforated edge on the side of your fabrics. And here at Famore, we offer many different services. We not only sharpen our products for as long as you own them, but you can order them in different ways. So If you want a scissor that doesn't have much of a point, you want it a little bit more rounded, you can request that in the ordering process. If you want your scissors serrated, we have the corrugation machines that can corrugate the scissor for you. And if you don't want the scissor corrugated, we can remove the corrugated if it has a serrated or corrugated edge on it. So just some of the services that we provide here at Famore Cutlery.
That's very great. I love the customizable scissors, and those look super comfortable. Can we see up close how bendable those little...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Very comfortable. That looks fun.
Yeah, they got nice big holes in them, so they're easy to get in, easy to get out of, but they conform to your hand and they're comfortable to use.
Very cool. We love those. So go ahead, and if you're interested in this, everyone, the shop link in the description of this video, you can see any of these products shown. All right, what do we have next?
Well, in the hoop embroidery.
I'm obsessed. I'm already obsessed. I don't know which scissor you're going to talk about.
Well, so the double curved scissor. And if anybody has ever used the Famore 747, I'm not just saying this because it's me, but I think we make the best double curved scissor, hands down. They're smooth. They cut well. They're comfortable. But a lot of the left-handed people were frustrated because they were wanting this scissor left-handed. Now, if you see the shape of this scissor, it looks like, truck rolled over it. It's a very difficult scissor to produce with those bends in it and to get the blades to be as precise as they are. But folks, we have the 6-inch double curved in the hoop embroidery scissor, and it's ready to ship. Very, very happy about this. Our left-handed embroiderers are incredibly happy about this. And if you do in the hoop embroidery, this is a must-have.
Well, put one in my shopping cart for sure. It's so nice to be able to hover over when there's a flat hoop and you're trying to get in there with the little snips of the scissors. It's just amazing because when the hoop's on the machine and you need to make a little snip in the hoop, that curve is so helpful.
Well, so this is really good for those of you that use the scissor for trimming away your stabilizers and you're wanting to get really close. A lot of people will use their duckbill applique scissors. Some people don't like the duckbill. They want to use a scissor without the duckbill. They'll use this. But for those small projects, we got the 748 CL. So this is a mini double curved 4-inch, very, very fine point tip applique scissor in the hoop applique scissor. So you've got that offset handle, so your hands stay way up. You've got that nice curved blade, and it just cuts perfectly. So if you're wanting to trim those little threads, it can't be any easier.
Wow. So handy for sure. I definitely don't want to try to put some 8-inch dressmaker shears in there trying to cut in the hoop. I will cut the whole design in half. So it's so helpful. Oh my goodness.
So that's the 748C for the right-handed, 748CL for the left-handed.
Oh, perfect. So that's in the link in the description of this video if you're interested in that scissor.
Now we're getting close to the end, and the end is going to be pretty exciting, so stick around. That the next item is a embroidery scissor that we have. It's the 709. The 709 has a little bit larger rings on it than our other scissors. This is what we call our large ring series. You can see those rings have got pretty nice size holes in them, so you can get in them and out of them pretty quickly. But they got nice, fine, sharp tips, and great for trimming your fabrics, if you're just at your machine and you're wanting to snip those threads, it's got a nice curved blade and a very, very sharp tip on it as well.
Oh my gosh, very nice.
So why doesn't it have the blue handle? Well, because have a few of these left. Once these are gone, they'll have the blue handle. Now, the last scissor, who ever knew that there were so many scissors? Yeah, my labor tells me that all the time. Another style.
Oh gosh.
But Barbara, the educators and the consumers are the ones that guide this industry, right? Their creativity and the passion. And as techniques change, we've got to change with them.
Yep. I'm saving a bunch of awesome comments and questions to the end. So if we haven't gotten to you yet, everyone, just hold on.
Right. Now, the last scissor, before we get into the rotary handle, the last scissor is the one I'm incredibly proud of. When we made this scissor, we went through, when we started making it, in the initial stages, we went through thousands of them with just rejections. But this is our micro tip scissor.
Those are my favorites. I have those and I love them, Brent.
So if you can see those fine tips on there. And people say, well, what are those tips for? And if I open this up, you can probably see those tips a little bit better. So for those of you, fussy cut, if really wanting to get into really super tight corners or curves or anything like that, this little guy is just absolutely amazing. Those tips cut all the way clean. You can see that it doesn't grab the fabric whatsoever. But the nice thing about this scissor is you can actually use it for a buttonhole scissor. Those tips are so fine, you can actually puncture. I'm going to use this in my right hand because I'm not left-handed, but you can actually puncture and cut from the inside out. So if you're making buttonholes, you can use this as a buttonhole scissor or just a fine detail cut scissor. And we have made it in left-handed, and it's a great scissor, great for embroidery. Those tips are nice and fine. You should be able to get under even the tightest stitch with them with ease. So that's 711L.
711. Okay. Here it is. 711 for right-handeds and 711 for left-handed.
Yep.
That little scissor is so awesome. It is so awesome. I can't even say, like, when you have that little tiny piece of thread that you're trying to get into, that your scissors like, nope, I'm going to bend it instead of cut it. Yeah. That's the one.
I thought my labor was going to go on strike when we started producing this one in the beginning. And we've got some techniques that we're doing that are making the tips of them even sharper. So if you're looking for a really sharp pointed tipped scissor, look no further. The 711 is the way to go.
Oh, I love it. We have an interesting question. Let's put each other on the spot. Margie, do you sell those in a big old set? I wonder if we should think of something.
So we do have scissor kits. We're in the process of a new kit that we're in the process of putting together, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So, Barbara, when those are available, we're going to have to do this again because it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
But yes, we are going to have a left-handed kit, and we will have a right-handed kit.
Okay, great, amazing. So we have some rotary cutters coming up next.
Yeah, and for those of you that are interested in knowing what we're doing, you can always follow us in any of our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, YouTube, famcut.com. But if you want to follow us, I click that like button. You'll be the first ones to know about it when we're creating something new. And on our Instagram, we always take shots of what we're doing at the factory that we can. So, some of the things we do are a little bit proprietary, so we don't want everybody seeing what we're doing. But follow us. I think you'll have fun with this.
Yeah, and I can say that your quality is top notch on these scissors. They're just top notch.
Barbara, I appreciate that. I've been doing this for 25 years. The person that taught me everything that a scissor needed to do, her name was Clotilda. She's no longer around with us, but she was very famous in her day. And she said, I will teach you everything that a scissor needs to do if you're serious about what you're doing. And I listened. And again, it's just going back, making sure that our consumers have the tools that they need to be able to do their ability to the finest. And it's the passion that our consumers have that ignite me, that fuel me. And I can find a problem with every single scissor. I don't care how great it is. I can always pick out something that but I just want to make sure that the people that buy our brand have the best experience possible. And, if they don't, we make it, Miriam, don't make me cry, girl. Clotilda was an amazing teacher. She was an amazing coach. And she's an amazing spirit today. So God bless her and her soul. But yes, she was amazing. But again, we try to go out of our way to make sure that our consumer is satisfied in every way we can.
Aww.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk rotary blades.
Ooh, okay.
So what I love about our handle, right-handed, left-handed, right-handed, left-handed. You don't have to switch the blades around. But there is something a little unique about our handle that I want to talk about. First of all, it's got an anti-slip grip handle, and it's got a little bit of weight to the head of it. It's not too heavy, but it's not really that light either. But Barbara, what makes a rotary blade rotate on the handle?
Oh, I shouldn't have put that thing on the screen yet. I don't know. On a regular one, it's me pushing it forward, right?
Right. It's the pressure that you put down and push with, right? So,
okay, so this one has something unique about it.
Yes. So if you notice, that blade rolls very, very easily with no pressure.
Oh, very cool. I have to say my wrists hurt whenever I use some rotary cutters because of having to push so hard.
Right. Well, we have taken the drag completely out of the rotary handle. And the way we have done that, and this is, the handles are manufactured in China. I just came back from China. We have gotten this system patented. We have a utility patent issued in China. And that was really important that I got that issued in China before I got it issued anywhere else. We do have it filed here in the States, and global patents are pending as well. But what we have done is we've added ball bearings on the inside of the rotary cutter here. So where your screw goes are ball bearings. Now, why is that important? Well, now you don't have to put as much pressure down on the blade to get it to cut because it rolls really, really simple. So because you don't have to apply as much pressure, your blades will stay sharper longer, and so will your cutting mats. If you have any issues with your hand using a rotary blade, a rotary handle, I was at the original Sewing and Quilt Expo here in Atlanta, and lady came up with her daughter. She's got literally every handle produced, and she just can't use them. She doesn't have the ability to get it cut. When she used ours, she started to cry, and she's got a granddaughter that she started a baby quilt with. She wasn't able to finish it because she wasn't able to cut with her rotary cutter, and she can't use scissors because her hands were really that bad. And she literally cut every fabric at the booth that she'd be cutting, and she was cutting multiple layers. And when she got home, her daughter called us up. Her mother had completed the quilt, and her daughter ended up ordering the rotary handle as well because she wanted it as. But what's nice about our rotary blades, they come with the same warranty as our scissors do. On the back of every one of the containers of our replacement blades has a sticker that says, "Retain this container for future sharpening services." So Famore is proud to say that we have a professional rotary blade sharpening system. You send us the blades, we send them back to you. We get the blades on a Monday, we get them back in the mail the very next day, so you will never be without your blades. And just to show you how well these cut, so you do have the blade guard. You want to put your index finger here, hold it up, and just run it through. It cuts.
That looks so easy. You made it look way
so easy.
You don't have to press down onto your shoulder and onto your wrist with all of your might.
Barbara, how many layers do you normally cut?
Oh, sometimes I like to cheat, and I'll layer like 6 at a time, so I can cut 6 different colors of fabric and cut them all my squares at once. And sometimes they don't always cut the same size whenever I layer a whole bunch of fabric on top of each other.
Right. So that was 6, but I just doubled it to make it 12.
Oh, wow.
And just to show you how easy.
No way. No way.
You want to try 24?
No, you're going to break it. Or is it indestructible? Oh, wow.
So the 12, so the guard is what, let me just, I'm going to take the ruler away because the guard was sitting on the,
That's a ridiculous amount of fabric to cut. I don't think anybody's going to cut that much at a time.
So rotary blades and any scissor, if it's a synthetic material, synthetic materials are always harder on blades than organic. Get out of here. Get out. Synthetic material is always harder than organic material on a blade. And, you know, we do a lot in the cosplay world, costume making, and those costumers, you know, they're using mixed media. They're using a lot of polys. They're using a lot of synthetic materials. And what's nice about our scissor, it doesn't matter what you're using. So this is leather. This is a cowhide, right? And that's a pretty heavy grain cowhide.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So if there are people that quilt with leather, if
really? You can cut through that with that?
Oh, easily. Now, you know,
Sue says, shut the front door. No way.
So this is a sheepskin hide. And sheepskin is very, very easy to cut, but just to show you.
Wow.
But, you know, let's take it to the test. Let's give it something a little thicker, a little heavier. And that's, you know, this is raw cow. This is raw cowhide.
No, really?
It's this darn ruler. Hold on one second.
Really?
Now, when you're doing leather, you've got to really push down because this is a 10 gauge leather. It's some of the heaviest leather that you're going to cut. But when I say really, I mean, you can chop these things up into little itty bitty pieces.
What about, oh, you're making fringe. How about vinyl? How does it cut vinyl? No way.
So vinyl is really simple, and no matter if you're using a heat press vinyl, if you're using marine vinyl, yep, I've got my vinyl right here. So this is a marine vinyl, and just I mean vinyl is really simple to cut. And the one thing I want to urge you, don't be afraid to put these to the test. If you dull them, you can send them back to us. We'll resharpen them for as long as you own them. And the nice thing about our blades, you will find, if you're using like organic material only, you will find that our blades will last twice as long as most blades that you'll use. The reason we're doing that is because we do a double heat treatment process on our rotary blades. And I think we're the only manufacturers that's doing a double heat treatment process, which is adding a little bit more strength to the steel, which makes those edges last longer. Now, for doing your knits, so this is a stretch knit, and it's got metallic threads in it. Can be a little bit of a fussy thing to cut because of those metallic threads, but it's no issue.
Oh, nice. It's like it's going so well through it. Okay, Elizabeth has 3. Vinyl cork faux leather, ...
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Cork is very easy to cut with. It's a spongy material, so yeah, we've tried every cork out there on the market, no issue. What about sequence fabric?
Oh man. My question would be, would that damage the blade?
Oh, let's try it.
Okay.
Let's try it. So this is sequence fabric.
Cut, everyone.
So we're gonna faux furs, cuddle fabrics.
Oh my. That's amazing. Okay, here's one. I have to ask this because it's fun. Will it cut tomatoes? Kelly asks.
It'll cut it, Barbara. It'll cut a tomato so thin you can make one tomato last all winter.
I think a tomato isn't shaped the right way, but yeah, that was so funny.
So this is Velcro. You could cut onions with it. The only tears you cry are tears of joy.
Yeah. Yes.
So here's velvet velours, very, very easily. Now we just cut all that. Now this is a chiffon. If there were any nicks, if there was any damage to that blade, the chiffon is a tell-all fabric, right? Anybody try to cut chiffon with a dull pair of scissors or a scissor with a nick in it? It catches it every single time.
Snags. Wow.
So that ball bearing system, I mean, it just rolls so easily. It takes the effort out of it completely.
Okay, now, we have another jokester with us today. I have to. Barbara says, I feel like going upstairs and cutting things. Well, better make sure that you get these Famore scissors because they're going to cut the best.
Go, Barbara, go. Take us with you. So that's the rotary handle. We've got some really cool things that we've got in the works for our blades and for other cutting style knives. If you used other brands of like straight blades or the precision knives, I'm coming out with some really, really, really fun stuff. Our replacement blades come 2 in a pack. Why do they come 2 in a pack? When this blade decides to go dull, you just simply take it off. I always tell people, put the date on it, so that way you don't get it mixed up with your other blade that's in the pack. Take the other blade out, put it on your cutter. When that one decides to go dull, you put the date on it, and you take the last one that's in there and you put it on your handle. Then what you do is you take those two that you've got in those pack and you send them to us. And by the time we get them, like I said, it's only normally a 1 day turnaround. So if we get them on a Monday, we're going to get these back out to you on Tuesday. You'll never be without blades. So you will always have rotary blades for as long, if you're in the middle of a job and shoot, I don't have any rotary blades. Well, you will always have fresh blades with Famore.
I love it. I love it. And you can put that in my shopping cart, please. And those little tiny duckbill scissors, the minis. I'm getting both of those. I don't own those yet, but I have the other ones.
Well, they're coming to you, Barbara.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I have 22 questions and we have 5 minutes left.
Okay. We can do it. We can do it.
All right. So before we get to our lightning round of questions, y'all be sure to comment #AllBrands because we will do a giveaway for an allbrands.com e-gift card at the end of this video. All right. Here we go. And some of these are comments that I thought were just cute. So, okay, here's one. Julia says, heaven help anyone who tries to use my 9-inch heavy-duty razor edge shears. They're the best. All right. Anne says, I love your tiny tweezers for my long arm.
Thank you, Anne.
Kathy D says, here to learn more about these. So she wasn't familiar with your company. All right. Here's Donna. She says, I love these scissors and tweezers.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah. And Kathy has never heard of Famore before. So happy.
So, Barbara, all of our products, Kathy, if you're still watching out there, all of our products are sold exclusively through independent retailers. You'll never see our brand at Joann's, Hancock's, Hobby Lobby, but Walmart, Target, or anything like that. They're only sold through fine dealers like AllBrands. So they're only available through the independent retail chains.
Do you know one of our big mottos is we sell the best and service the rest?
Amen.
Yeah, there's a lot of inferior product out there right now, and it's good to have a dealer that knows what's good to provide that to you. All right. Pamela says, as a lefty, thank you for explaining that to everyone. I've used left-handed scissors forever and will never go back to sore thumbs.
Awesome.
Linda says, was so hard to teach my 4-H. I think that's 4-H kids who were lefties. We had double hold guiding scissors for our lefties. My hand would fit in the outer holes and I guided them. Man, I can't imagine trying to.
Well, you know what? Kudos to her for being a teacher. It's not an easy job to begin with, and having inferior products even makes her job a little tougher. So, but thank you for your service and for educating our kids out there.
Here's something from Kelly. She says, do you offer engraving on any of the scissors?
That wouldn't work in your wood shop.
Asking for a friend.
Deloa Jones, who's a award-winning quilter, long-arm quilter, her husband videoed him going to her sewing room, grabbing the batting shears that we make, the big batting shears, to use them for tin snips, and he videoed it. And he goes, I know. He called me up. He goes, I know you'll fix these for me, but he said, I just had to get my wife back. But
oh gosh,
it's called the divorce lawyer. That's what we have for you, a divorce lawyer.
Oh gosh. Okay, Iris says, what a fantastic array of specialty scissors. Small scissors are not often sharp enough to handle the variety of thicknesses. We work with the embroidery machine applique. I will be buying. Yes. And Barbara Jones says, thank you for teaching us the science of scissors. We'll use the right scissors for the job. And this is just the surface of what Famore makes. So We have a lot of people looking at the sets. I did save that as a comment. Oh, here's one. Margie just got a Stellar XG1. Congrats for her birthday. She needs the whole set of scissors to come. And Cindy had no idea that there were so many scissor applications. Sorry, you explained things so well. I don't have any more questions. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Does the rotary cutter come in 60 millimeter?
It will, not yet. I'm finishing the handle for the 60 millimeter handle, but it will be soon.
Okay. When we were joking,
we will have blades available for the 60 millimeter and 28 millimeter blades by towards the end of the year. So if you've already got a rotary handle out there, our blades fit most all handles, but yeah, we are working on our 60 millimeter.
Okay, another person, OMG, I want them all. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Here's our, just saying, love my 7-Eleven scissors from Carrie Cunningham. Hey, Carrie. Oh, Cindy commented on the pointing scissors, the pointy scissors. I could see you using those to clip your interfacing inside of your garments. Get to the
absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
All right, and I think I saved the best. Oh, hold on, one more joke. Miss Maureen says your jokes cut me up, but not like that rotary blade.
There's never a dull moment here, folks. We always get right to the point.
Okay, and I know that you'll love this one, and I love this one too, because this one's from my father, John Douthit, who started AllBrands in 1976. And he said Clotilda came to Baton Rouge in the 1980s to teach in her store and stayed overnight in our home. We'll miss her too. And we're all a product of the amazing education and people that are surrounding us, and this group and community of dealers and manufacturers that are here to give you the best tools and education that you need. Oh my gosh, you got me. I'm misty now.
John, thank you for that comment, sir. I miss you to death. I love you, and I can't wait to see you again. Folks, I've known this family for 25 years, and they're more amazing than any scissor I can make.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. You're amazing. Aren't we so lucky to be here doing this today?
I hate being Italian. I hate being Italian.
How about, oh my gosh, a giveaway. So I'm going to choose a random commenter who commented #AllBrands. And so let's get a drum roll, please. Our winner is Denise LaRue. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, let me wipe my tears. Just email me at events@allbrands.com to claim your prize. I'll need your name, number, address, and phone number. My goodness. Who's that?
This is Zuzu.
Oh.
She's our mascot.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I love puppies. She has a nice haircut. Did you do that?
She just got one. Yeah.
Did you do that? I mean, you have all the scissors.
Yeah, she'd look like this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show, Brent.
Barbara, thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody watching out there. And without you, there is no us. And thank you for doing what you guys do out there that allows us to do what we do here.
Keep being creative. Keep stitching. Keep cutting up, everybody. We love you.
See
Bye.
ya.